If you've ever been underestimated, dismissed, or told your struggles aren't real, hit that like button, subscribe, and get ready. Because today's story is about turning that pain into power and serving up the kind of revenge that feels oh so satisfying. I used to think I could brush it off. The little comments, the memes, the casual conversations that painted women as if we lived in some fairy tale where everyone loved us and life was effortless. But it wasn't just one post or one conversation. It was everywhere, on social media, on forums, even in group chats, guys sneering about how women had it easy. As if a magical fairy godmother handed us free passes, adoration, and success, while poor men were the real victims of society. The reality? Every scroll through my phone felt like stepping through a minefield of hate. Comments like, asterisk, asterisk, women only get jobs because they're women. Asterisk, 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 try being a man, nobody cares if we suffer. Asterisk, 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 stop whining, women are universally loved. Asterisk, and the worst part, when I dared to speak up, I was hit with gaslighting. Asterisk, relax, it's just a joke. Asterisk or asterisk, you're overreacting. Women do have it easier. Asterisk, it was exhausting. It wasn't just words. It was dismissal, disrespect, and erasure of every struggle I'd faced. One night, it all came to a head. I was on a video call with friends, people I thought were supportive, when one of the guys cracked the same tired line. Asterisk, well, women are universally loved. You guys live on easy mode compared to us. Asterisk, something inside me snapped. My hands shook, my jaw tightened. I could feel heat rising in my chest. I wanted to scream, not because it was the first time I'd heard it, but because it was the thousandth, and it was coming from someone who claimed to know me. Someone who'd seen me fight tooth and nail for every ounce of respect I'd earned. But instead of exploding, I went silent. And in that silence, an idea started forming. See, I'd worked too hard to build my life. My friendships, my career, my relationship, they didn't fall into my lap. They came from effort, from staying up late, from pushing past setbacks, from showing up for people even when I was running on fumes. And I realized, maybe words alone wouldn't convince them. Maybe what they needed was proof. So I decided I'd turn their smug little fantasy on its head. I wouldn't just argue with them. I'd let them experience reality, the hard way. I started with something simple. I suggested that one of these guys, let's call him Ethan, apply for the same job opening I had just seen online. A perfect test. He believed women only got hired because we were women, right? Well, let's see how that played out. Ethan laughed when I mentioned it. Asterisk, if you can get it, I'll walk in and they'll hire me on the spot. No contest. Asterisk. What he didn't know, I'd already gone through the process. I knew the requirements, the level of professionalism, the hoops you had to jump through. And I knew he was about to get a wake-up call. I coached him through writing his resume, but deliberately left out the subtle touches women are forced to learn. Softening tone, highlighting collaboration, balancing confidence with humility. I let him march in with the same arrogance he showed online. When he came back, his smug grin was gone. They said they'd call me. They never did. And when I landed an interview for the same role and actually got it, the look on his face was priceless. He stammered excuses. Asterisk. Oh, well, they probably needed a diversity hire. Asterisk. But that was just round one. I started collecting screenshots. All those Val comments, all those posts about how women are universally loved. I compiled them. Every contradiction, every hypocrisy. Then, during our next group call, when Ethan and a couple others started in with the same tired jokes, I shared my screen. Slide after slide, their posts, their words, lined up next to statistics on harassment, workplace inequality, violence against women. The contrast was undeniable. Silence filled the call. Faces went pale. One even tried to laugh it off, until I read their exact words out loud. The shame was written all over them. They'd been caught, exposed. But the ultimate revenge, it came weeks later. One of those very same guys, who swore women had it easy, ended up needing a reference for a project. He came to me, expecting help, expecting me to play the universally loved role. And I smiled, looked him dead in the eye, and said, asterisk funny, I thought women had it easy. Shouldn't be too hard for you without me, right? Asterisk. The silence that followed was delicious. For once, they had no comeback. It wasn't just about the job, or the screenshots, or the pointed refusal to help. It was about flipping the script, about showing them, in undeniable ways, that their fantasy of women floating through life was nothing but a lie. And the payoff, seeing their arrogance collapse into silence, watching them scramble for excuses, feeling the weight of years of dismissal finally shift back onto their shoulders. For the first time in a long time, I felt lighter. Not because the misogyny disappeared, but because I'd taken back my power. Maybe the world will always have people who dismiss women's struggles. But here's the truth. Dismissing someone's pain doesn't erase it. It just exposes your ignorance. And sometimes, the sweetest revenge isn't yelling. It's holding up a mirror and letting them choke on their own reflection. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and tell me in the comments, what's the most ridiculous thing someone said to dismiss your struggles? And of course, subscribe for more stories where justice is served piping hot.